What if the way you see life is the reason you suffer? Not because life is always cruel, not because the world is against you, but because your mind quietly creates expectations, fears, and illusions that shape everything you experience. Most people spend their entire lives chasing things they think will finally make them feel complete. Money, status, relationships, success, validation. But somehow, even after achieving those things, many still feel empty. Why? Because they were taught to search for meaning outside themselves. Today, we're exploring a philosophy that completely changes the way you see life. A philosophy that has existed for thousands of years, yet feels more relevant today than ever before. And once you truly understand it, you may never look at your life the same way again. 1. The illusion of control. One of the biggest causes of human suffering is the belief that we control everything. We think, if I work hard enough, nothing will go wrong. If people understand me, I'll be happy. If life goes according to plan, I'll finally feel at peace. But reality doesn't work like that. People leave, plans fail, you lose things, you age. Unexpected pain arrives without warning, and the more tightly we try to control life, the more anxiety we create. This idea was deeply understood by Epictetus and the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. They believed there are only two things in life: what you can control and what you cannot. You cannot control other people, the past, the future, opinions, luck, death, but you can control your actions, your mindset, your response to suffering. And strangely, the moment you stop trying to control everything, life becomes lighter. Not because problems disappear, but because your peace no longer depends on perfection. 2. Why people feel empty. Modern life constantly tells us you need more. More money, more followers, more achievements, more productivity. But humans adapt to everything. You buy the thing you wanted. For a moment you feel excited, then the feeling fades, so you chase the next thing. This cycle never ends. Psychology calls this the hedonic treadmill. You keep running, but emotionally stay in the same place. This is why many successful people still feel lost, because external success cannot permanently solve internal emptiness. Arthur Schopenhauer once argued that human life swings between desire and boredom. When we don't have something, we suffer wanting it. When we get it, we quickly become unsatisfied again. That sounds depressing at first, but there's actually freedom in realizing this, because it means peace was never supposed to come from endless consumption. Real fulfillment often comes from meaningful relationships, presence, creativity, purpose, acceptance, not endless chasing. 3. The ego and false identity. Most people think they know who they are. But what if your identity is mostly constructed? Your name, your status, your reputation, your social media image, your achievements. These become masks we attach to ourselves, and eventually we become terrified of losing them. This idea appears in both Eastern philosophy and modern psychology. Carl Jung believed that many people live disconnected from their true selves because they spend their lives performing for society. We create a persona, a version of ourselves designed to be accepted. But the problem is, the more fake the persona becomes, the more disconnected we feel internally. That's why some people feel exhausted all the time. Not because they're physically tired, but because pretending is exhausting. True freedom begins when you stop building your life entirely around validation. When you stop asking, how do I look to others? And start asking, who am I when nobody is watching? 4. Suffering is part of life. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid suffering. But suffering is unavoidable. Loss is unavoidable. Failure is unavoidable. Pain is unavoidable. The real question is not, how do I escape suffering? The real question is, how do I transform through it? This idea appears in Buddhism, Stoicism, and existential philosophy. Pain itself is not always what destroys people. Resistance to pain often does. When something painful happens, the mind says, this shouldn't be happening. But reality doesn't care about our expectations. And sometimes, the more we resist reality, the more we suffer. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means seeing reality clearly before deciding how to respond. Ironically, some of the strongest people are not those who avoided pain. They are the ones who learned from it, the ones who allowed suffering to deepen their understanding of life. 5. The present moment. Most humans live in two places, the past and the future. We replay regrets. We imagine disasters. We overthink conversations. We fear what hasn't happened yet. Meanwhile, life quietly passes by. The present moment is the only place life actually exists. Yet most people barely experience it. Philosophy and psychology both point toward the same truth. Attention shapes reality. When your mind is constantly distracted, life feels empty and unreal. But when you fully experience a moment, a conversation, rain outside your window, music, silence, a sunset, life suddenly feels alive again. Not because the world changed, but because you were finally present enough to notice it. 6. The fear of death. One of the deepest fears every human carries is the awareness that life ends. Most people avoid thinking about death entirely. They distract themselves constantly, scrolling, working, consuming, staying busy. But strangely, many philosophers believe that thinking about death is actually what teaches us how to live. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that life is temporary, not to become hopeless, but to become awake. Because when you truly realize time is limited, small things stop mattering as much. Petty arguments, validation from strangers, endless comparison. You begin valuing time connection, peace, meaningful experiences. Death gives life urgency. Without endings, moments would lose value. A sunset matters because it fades. Youth matters because it disappears. Life matters because it is temporary. And maybe the goal is not to fear death endlessly, but to make sure we truly lived before it arrives. 7. Comparison is destroying people. For most of human history, people only compared themselves to a small group around them. Now, through social media, people compare themselves to millions every single day. Someone richer, more attractive, more successful, more talented, and slowly, comparison turns life into competition. The dangerous part is that comparison destroys gratitude. Even if your life is objectively good, your mind can still convince you that you're failing simply because someone else appears ahead. Psychology shows that humans naturally measure themselves against others, but constant exposure to curated perfection creates anxiety and dissatisfaction. Many people are not unhappy because their lives are bad. They are unhappy because they believe everyone else's life is better. But social media rarely shows reality. It shows performance. People post highlights, not loneliness. Success, not insecurity. Smiles, not breakdowns. The moment you stop building your worth around comparison, you reclaim your peace, because life was never meant to be a race against everyone else. 8. What it means to truly live. At the end of life, people rarely regret not working more hours. They regret not spending enough time with loved ones, not expressing themselves honestly, not taking chances, not living authentically. Many people survive life, but never truly live it. They wait endlessly. I'll be happy when I have more money, when I'm successful, when everything is perfect. But perfection never arrives. Life is happening now, not someday. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard believed that one of the greatest tragedies is living without truly becoming yourself. And maybe that's the final lesson. A meaningful life is not necessarily a famous life or a perfect life. It's a life where you were present, you were honest with yourself, you loved deeply, you experienced things fully, and you did not allow fear to completely control you. Because in the end, nobody escapes uncertainty. But some people learn to dance with it, and perhaps that is what it truly means to live. Maybe the meaning of life was never about becoming perfect. Maybe it's about learning how to live fully despite uncertainty, to accept change, to let go of control, to understand yourself honestly, to stop chasing endless validation, to become present, because one day your entire life will become a memory. And when that day comes, the things that mattered most probably won't be status or possessions. It will be the moments you truly felt alive, and perhaps that's the philosophy that changes everything. Not that life becomes easier, but that you finally begin to see it clearly.